All right, Shalom. All right, we're the brothers here. I have a great millstone. This is brother Gamal Yala.
I'm brother Khanak.
All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH,
BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI,
BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. And yeah, we're going to go into this video right here. Lord willing, it's edifying. All right. Yeah, we're just going to do a quick lesson. All right, the Spirit hit us to do a response on this this video right here. So yeah, we're just going to play it and jump right into it, get some precepts. Make sure it's going to play.
African American, he is straight African. How do you see African Americans?
I see y'all as slaves.
And what makes us slaves?
Because you built a nation that controls you.
How does it control us? We got NBA, NFL, we running it.
They use you as dancers and entertainers.
But they paying us $100 million plus.
Yeah, but then they own the money.
So do Africans, how y'all see African Americans?
Huh?
How do Africans see African Americans?
We see y'all honestly as, if you want the truth, we see y'all as our heroes that have given up on themselves.
But I know a lot of Americans that see y'all, they be like African booty scratchers.
It's the persona that the white man has printed on you to dismiss your brother. Because you got to divide me to conquer me with you.
But you divided us and said we are slaves.
Yeah.
But they got y'all too, ain't it?
No, they don't.
You ain't be like, I'm your brother, I'm lost though.
Because I could say tomorrow, if I'm done with this shit, I could go home. You can't go home. You stay here.
All right, so as y'all saw in the video, right, there's a couple discussions, couple topics dealing with that video, but mainly, all right, in the beginning, you saw that, you know, Jake I'm an African American, and you're African. And you know, Jake was simple. Jake was being simple, but he said, you know, how do y'all view Americans, so-called Black Americans? He said, yeah, we view y'all as slaves. All right, and you know, that alone is a topic because yeah, you so-called blacks, and Native Americans and Seminole Indians and Latinos, you are slaves here in America. All right, and the reason why, now, when we say slaves, we really mean mental slaves, which I believe that's how he meant. You know, as far as being slave just means to be oppressed. All right, and so yes, we are oppressed here in America because this is our captivity. All right, you got something you wanna?
Yeah, I got something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, this is I'll bring out this one first.
Okay.
Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thee.
Yeah. See, that's beautiful because that Jake, the interviewer Jake, he's a clear example of how he's destroyed. He's lacks knowledge. He's ignorant. All right, totally ignorant because the type of questions he even asks, he's not deep. See, the African dude, which we perceive he's a Jake. He could be a Jake. He looks West African.
Well, he viewed when you talk to Africans, like a true African doesn't view Jake as a brother. He viewed Jake as
separate.
A brother.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He
yeah.
viewed Jake as a brother. Other Africans, you know, actual African, like East African and other, you know, they actually view Jake as different.
Yeah.
You know, but if you go into the history, the majority of the slaves came from the west coast of Africa.
That's it.
The majority of the slaves go back to you know, Nigeria and in that area. See, and again, that Jake from Africa, which I believe he's a Jake, he knows the history.
He knows.
He called Jake a brother.
Right.
Our people, their view of Africans, like he said, African booty scratchers. Everything's a joke. Everything's a game.
Yeah, and that's he's destroyed. He's just destroyed. Yeah, Americans, we view y'all as African booty scratchers. You know, see, Jake wasn't ready for that conversation. It was going over his head, you know, because you could tell the other African dude, he was basically well, you could tell the interviewer Jake was probably drunk. Obviously they're in a bar or spot somewhere, but the other guy who he was asking the questions, he was level-headed. He seemed to have a little bit of understanding.
Yeah.
But it says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And that's basically the Lord speaking to our people. All right, because you not dealing with knowledge. Okay, you dealing with ignorance. What's that? I'm thinking of Jeremiah 4:22. Jeremiah 4:22. You're sottish.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yep.
You're just stupid as hell. You can't even have a formal dialogue. You can't even have an intelligent dialogue without bringing up some bullshit, some folly, bringing up the NBA and NFL. Like, nigga, that shit don't got nothing to do with the subject at hand.
Well, and that just shows you how the world views the so-called American black as a slave, as the lowest. Entertainment. They can entertain you. They can jump and catch balls and all that. They can dance and they can sing, but that's about it, because they can't even have an intelligent conversation as two adults. Everything's a joke. Everything's a game, and they're the least educated of all the so-called blacks of the world.
Right.
Them West Africans, they're highly educated. They're when they come to the United States, them Nigerians, they be doctors.
Oh, right.
Or they be engineers. They be scientists.
Yep. And their parents their parents push them to.
Yep.
They're strict. They got good discipline. They're strict. They don't really joke. They're not as, they don't take everything as a joke like you Black Americans. Because like you said, you've been wrapped up in entertainment and you've been wrapped up in just folly your whole life. So you don't have a serious bone in your body. You got something?
Yeah. Well, I can get that Jeremiah. I had something else, but I want to get the Jeremiah 4:22.
Okay. Kind of.
Like you brought up. Yep. This is Jeremiah 4:22, and that's a prime example of the Jake. You see how when you said the other guy, he was level-headed. You could tell that he could talk. He can articulate his words, his points.
He would come to camp and actually, we would have a decent conversation with him. You
can have a conversation with somebody like that. You can't have a conversation with these, what they call these dumb blacks, and that's essentially what they are. They're really, you can actually have a better conversation with Esau.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Esau can dialogue with you. I mean, he's the devil, of course. He's not going to get it. But Jake everything's a game. Everything's a joke. You go right over Jake's head when you talk simple things. They don't even have. Well, how do you hide a secret from a black? You put it in a book.
Yeah.
Jake don't read books. Okay. This is Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. See, no understanding. And this is why you look down upon even by those Africans. With them actual Africans, them Hamites, they're lower than us, but the whole world looks down upon you because of the stupidity,
right?
Of the foolishness.
Yep.
Okay, of everything. All you know how to do is entertain. All you know how to do is joke. You can't take anything serious, and you don't want knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, you reject the knowledge of the Heavenly Father. You even reject the knowledge of yourself. You accept being black. You accept being African American. You don't even want to know your history outside of slavery. That's all. You're okay with the entertainment here in Babylon the Great, and you're not even You're not even in the NBA. Jake's not in the NBA like that. You got a handful of Jakes that actually get to touch some money.
Right. Yeah, because he brought up the example, which that's a sottish argument. That's a stupid argument to say, oh well, they paid athletes hundreds of millions of dollars. First of all, let's deal with that, right? First of all, Esau, how much money is Esau making off of each of these? If they're able to pay these players hundreds of millions of dollars, then think about how much they're making off of them. That's number one. Number two, like you said, that is a very small percentage of Jakes that actually make it to that level.
Yep.
You know, and then like you said, it's not even the most talented. It's not even always the most talented Jakes that make it to that level. So it's a lottery when we're dealing with that. You know, so but I hate when Jake use celebrities and athletes, entertainers and athletes as a excuse.
Yeah, as an excuse, as a counter argument to them, you know, not being slaves, which that actually proves the point even more that you are a slave. Okay, even more, because he basically, when you really listen to him, he said, well, look about these entertainers, and the Jake was like, well,
who owned the money?
Who owned the money? They own those entertainers. Well, he said, well, they paying us hundreds of millions of dollars. So really, he was accepting that, yeah, I am a slave, but they paying me a bag, and that's what Jake is. You know, Jake is okay with that. If you give our people a little bit of comfort here in Babylon the Great, they're okay with being a slave. And I got that Jeremiah 2. Oh, what you got?
Yeah. Can I get this real quick?
Yeah.
Because let's see. Real quick. This is Isaiah 30:2. It says, I'll start at 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. So yeah, Jake is in a totally different spirit. Here's the point. It says, that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the sight of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Yep. So yeah, they it was another one, I think.
What is it? What it say?
Well, I think that was all. I think that was. It's another one that it's on top of my head, but I just can't.
I know there's. If you go to the next verse, 31.
Oh, is it 30? Yeah, I think. Yeah. Let me see. Let's go. Is it? I think it's this one.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. Woe to them. Jeremiah 30. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Yeah, so those two we brought out basically is Jake is trusting in Egypt. Yeah. Jake believes in this. They believe in slavery.
Well, if you go back to when the children of Israel were coming out of Egypt, you know, and you know they're really being tried. The Most High didn't give them food like that, you know, and they started to complain. And they basically cursed out Moses and said, look, we could have stayed and served Pharaoh in Egypt.
Yeah, we ate. We remember the good. Yeah,
we remember the comfort. We remember the food, the fish, the leeks, the garlics, the onions. You see what I'm saying? Why you bring us out here to die? This is literally the Most High liberated Jake out of hardcore bondage. And what happened? Our people wanted to go back. Okay, so they're actually okay in this situation. Esau gives them, the ability to buy chicken, the ability to go out to the club, the ability to commit wickedness, and the illusion that they can one day make it as an entertainer, as a rapper, as a singer, as a movie star. But even within that, you got to bend over. You got to sell out to Satan. Okay, and you see the latter end of our people that actually do the deal with the devil. It never turns out good for them. Okay, but that's the simple. I remember, waking up to the truth, and I told one of my buddies, he was like an extension of my brother's friend. We got somewhat close because we worked together, and I'm breaking down the truth to him, and the argument that he came up when I said that we're slaves, and we're still in captivity, and he said, "What about Kanye West?" Because Kanye West, and this is back in like 2012, maybe like 2011, 2012.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he said, what about Kanye West?
What about him?
I kind of like looked at him. He's like, because he's a millionaire. And what about him? How you saying that we're slaves? It was the same argument. This Jake.
Right.
It was the same argument. He said, basketball, football. The dude I knew in the world
brought up entertainers.
He brought up an entertainer. And saying, well, hold on. Well, he makes a whole bunch of money. How are we slaves? And I just kind of looked at the nigga. I'm like, and then I brought up the scripture. What if a man gain the whole world but lose his soul. And we see how Kanye West crashed out.
Right.
Okay, he crashed out, but he tried to say that, try to bring up the fact that we're the people. But
Right.
but ultimately, the Most High, he rejected him, and and his latter end is through.
Yeah.
He got all his money, his bank accounts
Overnight. Damn near overnight. Yep.
overnight because
Yep.
he talked about his master. He talked about the people that actually built him up and gave him them checks, man. Okay, and he's bought and paid for it. He's done all type of abominable acts. He said if there's a video of me having sex with a goat, it is what it is.
He said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't even shit.
Yeah, he said a whole bunch of shit. A year, 2 years ago when the whole thing was going on with his Adidas deal.
Yep.
They said, I don't even need you, nigga. Which that was Adidas were making the most money they ever made.
Yeah.
Off of the Yeezys.
And he's clearly mental, But yeah, like you said, you see how fast Esau swept the rug from under him. So it goes to show you who is really in control. Because Kanye being a perfect example because he actually spoke up against the power, the so-called Illuminati, and he lost it all overnight. Now he still obviously got money, but just the point being that we're saying is these niggas are just a few make it, but that's how Esau wants it. He wants to create that illusion
That's it.
that look, there you have role models. I mean, you have people to look up to. You can make it. That's why these entertainers and athletes, they go to these schools. What do they say? Believe in yourself.
Yep. Work hard. Yeah.
Work hard. You could be like me, man. Look, just believe. Dreams can come true. Your dream can come true.
And they're not telling the whole story how they have to do all type of wicked, evil, demonic things to be in those positions and to remain in those positions. Because how many of our people, they get into a position and a one-hit wonder or something like that, they make a little bit of money and then all of a sudden you don't hear from them no more. They was the hottest thing.
Right.
Because they didn't want to go the extra step, whether it be sacrifice, whether it be some type of humiliation ritual. It'll be you gotta bow down, you gotta worship Satan. Okay, this is Satan's world. Satan came to YAHAWASHI and say, look, bow down to me and I'll give you all. You see all this? I'll give you all the kingdoms of the earth.
He has
so
dominion.
that's who has dominion right now. Okay, and by you being a friend with this world, okay, trying to enjoy your little sin for a season, that makes you an enemy of the Most High.
That's it. Yep.
Okay, and our people, they don't understand that. All right, the so-called American black is the lowest. I have to agree with Esau on this. They're the lowest IQ because they actually, and I'm being facetious, but they actually reject knowledge. They don't want to know
Right.
about the truth. About the truth.
Right.
They're okay in their little bubble. Okay, I got a precept. Are we done there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
What you got?
This is Jeremiah 2. Yeah, Jeremiah 2 and 14. Oh, I'm gonna start
Oh yeah,
at 13.
that's a good one. Yep. Okay.
Jeremiah 2 and 13. For my people have committed two evils. And then we can get also Isaiah, the first chapter too. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So you reject the power that sustains you, created you and sustains you, and keeps your enemies away from you and keeps you in a good position. All right, to go to these other gods, which there's no benefit. Look at our people that serve these other gods. Their latter end is worse off than their beginning. Okay, verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? If you wanted to, chime in on that.
Yeah. Well, that 13 basically going into what is the fountain of living waters? That's wisdom and knowledge and understanding. That's the scriptures. But it says they can hold no water. Basically, they can't hold it. Things are too deep for they. Just like the same last couple of precepts we brought out, Jake is they ignorant. They can't hold. They're sottish. They're ignorant, and they just, they're through. They're totally through here in our captivity. You know,
And they're okay. And this is the thing: they're okay with being through. They don't. And what makes it worse is they don't want to elevate.
right,
They're okay with the position that they're in. Okay, and the illusion that one day they can make it big.
Right.
When it doesn't happen.
right,
A very small portion of our people actually are living somewhat good in this society. The rest of our people are doing back-breaking work.
yeah,
In order for you to be in that upper echelon, again, you have to do things to be in that secret club.
right,
You have to pretty much reject the fountain of living water.
yeah,
You have to reject wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Neither can you help your own people. Look at all these celebrities. Where's all the help, so-called, from the celebrities in the so-called black community?
yeah. Why haven't they put all their money together and fixed poverty for the lower class citizen Jakes? Hey, well, you know what? We got all these millions of dollars. Let's try to fix, because they can't. First of all, they're not in a position to, because Esau, number one, Esau wouldn't even allow it. Further proving the point that he's really in control.
That's it.
But if all the black rich black Jakes pull their money together and say, you know what, we're gonna fix black poverty, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. But the point being is that they won't. They haven't. That's the point we're making. The point we're making is that they haven't even attempted to. They haven't even had a we're gonna call all the rich blacks and let's help out these. No, they ain't going to.
They're not going to, and they can't, because they're still slaves. These entertainers are still slaves. They don't even own their own rights. They don't even own their own names.
Yeah.
They don't own their masters.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's a great point.
They don't own the rights to their
own image and likeness.
That's it. They don't own it. The small hat owns that. All right, so they can't just go ahead and I'm gonna sell merch. I'm gonna make my own line and I'm gonna sell my own merch. No. You can't do that.
Yeah.
All right, because you're bound by adhesion contracts.
Exactly.
Okay, so who gets the real money?
Why do you think? I'm sorry to cut you. Why do you think all these entertainers they cry out and they complain about the label? They say, man, this label, man, look, man. Now they got social media to where they can try to blast publicly shame the label, but that happens often. It happens a lot. How many? Damn near. I've seen almost damn near every artist. They say, man, this fucking label, man, I can't release when I want to release. I can't do this. I can't do that. And then also, it's not even their money. Oh well, Jake brought up. Where you say, yeah, well, they pay them hundreds of millions. They pay them all this money. Well, in the entertainment world, it's not your money. But then in the athlete world, they got to pay all them taxes.
Yeah, it's crazy taxes. You don't even get half of the money that they so-called give you. 100 million, you might make 20 million.
And then what they say, a big percentage of them go broke within the first 5 years of retirement after they stop playing. Three. I think they said 3 years. Like within the first 3 or 5 years of them no longer playing, they go broke.
Which you're just a expendable piece of property. It's always going to be a new crop of young so-called black entertainers ready to do the job for a lower amount of money.
Right. Oh, and then if you get hurt, you're expendable. If you get hurt, let's say you get hurt, you're out of there.
That's it. None of that money's coming in. All right. And who in the Jake said, who owns the money? Whose face is on that money? Okay. There's in those contracts, they can't even spend the money on what they want to spend it on. There's certain things that they can't buy. Okay, but they can have the illusion of the big chain and this and that. They have handlers, man. And see, that's the knowledge that our people don't understand, and they actually look, put all their effort and energy to being a so-called entertainer.
Right.
To being a so-called athlete. not knowing what it actually entails. You're just a high value slave, a high paid slave.
That's all. That's all. Yep. You just a house. You could say house nigga, you know, because you got it a little bit better than the rest. You know what I'm saying? You got the you get to sleep. You get to sleep in the master's house.
Yep,
you get
yep.
you know what I'm saying, a little bit more privileges, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But at the end of the day, you're still a slave. You know.
I got Isaiah 1
Okay.
and 3. Yeah, you're still a slave. You get to sleep in the master's house, meaning you get to be, live with the, live in the master's neighborhood now. You know, you can have the big mansion. You can eat the master's food back in the day in the slave.
Oh, yeah.
You can eat the master's food. Now you can go to the master's, the slave, you have the slave dinner, but you're eating the master's dinner. Now you can go to these high top Michelin star restaurants. You can travel like the master. You can you make it makes it seem like you can do what the master can do. No, you play a role, not, of course, entertainment, but also influence. And when you see all these individuals that are in that realm, what type of influence do they push? A negative influence.
Yeah.
Or an influence, if it's not super negative, it's an influence of work hard to be in a position that I'm in.
Yeah. But your job is still to dance. Like, okay, yeah, you can be on that level, but yeah, we need you to dance.
Yeah.
We'll take you. Like, cause even back then you had Jake. They used to the entertainment Jakes in the slavery days. They would take them all over and travel them around and all that.
That's it.
But then, and they would, they'd be better to do than a plantation nigga who's just picking cotton. But the point being is that your job was to dance, your job was to play the fiddle or whatever the hell you had to do.
Yep. Yep. I'll read it.
Okay.
I'll read it.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Isaiah 1 and 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know, my people does not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupted. This is speaking about Israelites. Okay, 2/3 are not going to get it. Okay, even though the word is being preached to them, the Most High has not opened up their minds to actually receive it. Because it said that they don't even, like an ox and an ass. These are two stubborn, dumb. These are creatures. And they know who their master is. They know who feeds them. They know who takes care of them. They know who that gives them shelter. But our people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, they don't even consider who does it. Like we read in Isaiah 31, it said they stay upon, Egypt. Meaning the word "stay" means to rely. So they rely. They look at Esau because they can see Esau, and Esau gives them so-called goodies. You should go to the want and need of all things. Your enemy. They actually trust in Esau and his system. A nigga will say, "What would we do without grocery stores? What would we do without jobs that the so-called white man provides? What would we do without cars that the so-called white man builds?" So they look at him as a god. Okay.
Yeah.
It says.
Oh, and that's in Deuteronomy. It said, I think 28 and 48. You shall go to your enemies for the one of all things.
Yep. Our sinful nation, verse 4, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick. The whole heart is faint. Meaning you got to scrap it. The Most High, he just got to destroy you. Okay, there is no saving. In that Jake from West Africa, which I believe, of course, his spirit was Jake. He has more of you can deal with him more.
Yeah,
you can actually speak and reason
he could get
with
it.
him.
He could get it if he came across the truth. He would consider. He has the spirit of because you could tell like that type of Jake. You could actually, like we said, you could have a good dialogue with him. he might would consider like, you know what? Also, okay, all right. If he's West African and we break it down and we tell him, hey, well, you know, really, you West African. Like if he was to have those same talking points with one of us,
Right.
yeah, you know, I look at, you know, them as slaves. I look at the Black Americans as slaves. And we will say, yeah, well, yeah, Black Americans are slaves. You know, and then that would open up a whole different discussion.
Yep.
You know, and then what he say? We didn't touch on that. That he said, y'all are like heroes. What did he say? Y'all are like heroes, but you lost your purpose or something like
You
that.
lost your will to fight or something like
Lost
that.
your will to fight. Yeah.
Well, we can go to that
Yeah.
Genesis
Yep.
49.
Yep.
Because
Genesis
that's
49.
basically you're being beat and whipped in front of the whole world, and it's like Jake just don't care. You know, they just take this like Jake is like the nation that can just take a beating.
Yeah.
And the whole world is seeing like, damn nigga, like you got nations that rise up for not even a little bit of what's going on amongst you.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess we can get the point at 9.
Okay. Yep. This is Genesis 49 and 9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stoopeth down, he crouches as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rise him up?
Yeah. Hey. So yeah, who as an old lion, Jake? So, because when you read, matter of fact, where is it? Yeah, when you read in verse 8, it goes into thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Because Jake, you know, during the Jake was, you know what I'm saying, he was at one point in time, Jake was he was on Esau's ass here in America. You know? Like the civil rights movement and things of that nature. Jake was actually like in the neck of in Esau's neck.
Yeah, Jake was more educated, more, you know, they weren't as dumbed down as they are now. You know, they had some type of, you know, they had a better spirit on them. You know, they weren't given to drugs and alcohol and lewdness and video games and entertainment.
Oh, Jake stood for something then.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, and Esau couldn't have that. So the devil came in and he gave him drugs. He gave him entertainment. He started paying niggas all type of money to play a sport. So what does that do? That turns away. You know, you as a child learning that this damn devil is your enemy. You're no more thinking about that. You're thinking about, oh man, if I do this, I can make $20 million a year. So now Esau, he's okay. I just got to work hard. I got to run these laps. I got to hit this bag. So now you're not even in the mindset of revolting. You're in the mindset of trying to get this money.
Right.
Trying to live lavish, trying to be like your master. And that's just another tactic to destroy you as a nation, to divide you and to conquer you. And you are a conquered people, which directly ties you back to the Bible, ties you back to being an Israelite. Okay. And our people, they reject being an Israelite. They wanna you know, hold on to Esau. Okay.
Yep. And at 9, we'll read 9 again. Judah is the lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. Who he stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Yeah, so Jake is an old lion, man. An old lion, what does an old lion do? Just you know, just chill. Jake just sit there. You know, old lion don't really get down like that no more.
It's very hard to rouse an old lion up. You know, like you see these old Jakes, you know, they worked 40, 50 years. They got a little pension. They got a little retirement. You know, they don't need too much. They you know, they just sit at home, watch TV, watch sports.
Right.
You know, drink beer, maybe smoke a joint a day, you know.
That's it.
And that's it. That's cool. They don't really get into nobody's business. Like you do all that. I'm gonna just stay in my little quarters. I'm gonna chill.
Yeah. Cause Jake doesn't even really have uprisings no more. You know, when you look at what the hell happened to BLM, Black Lives Matter. You know, these niggas don't get excited. think and niggas are still getting shot. There's still Jakes that fall to the sword of Edomite cop.
Yeah, and you got niggas shooting niggas too.
Mm-hmm.
You would think if Jake wanted to be a outstanding citizen and clean up his community, would you not start at your own community first?
Right.
Would you not start at your own home?
Yeah.
How could you talk about getting cleaning up when there's no outcry when the nigga down the block shoots somebody that's innocent? You don't talk about the gang violence.
Right.
See, now Esau, he has to come in and say, like Trump, we got to come in, we got to clean these streets up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we got to send in the National Guard, we got to send in the Marines. Because these niggas is too wild. Look, they're killing their own. They don't even want to do better. Here it is. I'll allow you to go to college. I'll give you a loan to go to college to educate yourself, which we know that's all bullshit. You know, here's all these books you can educate yourself. There's the internet where you can get all type of wealth. You can become an engineer. You can do all these so-called things. You can go to school, become a doctor, a lawyer, which we know the system is set up to still destroy us. But nevertheless, what is a nigga? What does he choose to be? A hood nigga.
Yeah.
He chooses to bend the block.
Yep.
He chooses to chase holes. He chooses to gorge himself with food. Okay, these are useless people. What they have no use. We have to exterminate them.
Yep. That's it. Yep. You got anything closing?
I think that was.
If not, yeah, I think that was all we touched on. But yeah, so Lord willing, you know, y'all brothers were edified, you know, and Jake is just totally through, you know. But those that are gonna get it are gonna get it. Those that don't get it, they ain't gonna get it.
That's it.
You know, and that the African, so-called African dude who he was interviewing, you know, he could be of the elect, you know. He could be. You know, he had the spirit of you know, somewhat of a spirit of understanding. So, you know, it's up to the Lord's will, you know. But Lord willing, brothers, we're edified, and we're gonna end off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.